Howdy ho, everybody. It is Friday. It is Chris King held hostage, day 2.
That number you might as well just tack on a few because, with the
you remember that? Remember that when Nightline got started doing the Iranian hostage crisis?
Yeah, Terry Anderson and all those guys.
Exactly.
Yeah.
America held hostage, day 444. Hey, nobody held hostage around here. At least not.
Now that we're going to tell you, because then you might tell somebody.
That's right. I'm There's somebody with a shotgun right off screen that forces me to do this show every day. No, we're here of our own free will. I was speaking to the lack of air conditioning at the King residence, the King Castle, if you will. No fix on the horizon, huh, Chris?
No, I imagine that my wife will try to kill somebody by the weekend's over. But as long as it's not me, that's all that matters.
Good point. Unknown entity in the house. I think he sums up the feeling for everybody. Let's go! By the way, this is Just Parlays with Chris King. You first-time viewer, first-time listener. First of all, welcome aboard. My name is Scott Steehn. I'm the lead handicapper at Whiners.com. And this sweating young fella right here, although you look good, you're not glistening. You got extra makeup on today, I'm guessing, huh, Chris?
No, I'm just going to blame it on that little air cooler thing that I showed you yesterday.
Yeah, you got your little mini swamp cooler thing that you we use. I told you we use one for camping.
Yeah.
So, hey, Rye Cape's here, man. Rye Cape getting ready to do the NASCAR show with us here in a couple hours. We're going to be doing that live, by the way. So make sure you stop by, check that out as we break down Sonoma, little road racing in wine country.
Now, Ryan, would you compare Sonoma to Watkins Glen, or would you compare it to a different road course? Because, any insight I can get before I actually get a chance to look at any of that stuff would be helpful. So
absolutely. Andrew says East Carolina was a plus 175 dog before the game. All the money coming in on Texas, buddy. All that Longhorn cash coming in. And
but that's typical Texas, isn't it? Anybody that's a fan of the University of Texas that's a booster or anything throws money at everything, and it inevitably is a waste of money.
Wow.
Shaka Smart.
Shots fired in Austin. I mean, not to be, well, figuratively, not literally. No one's climbing the tower again. No, just.
But, Shaka Smart, waste of money.
Oh, well, I don't know. Was he?
He did nothing in Texas. He was better at VCU.
Did he have talent? Did he have talent around him in Texas?
You would think you would have talent in Texas.
You would. They got big checkbooks. Texas right fielder just made one of the best catches I've ever seen. God, and you could tell I've got money on that game because people are.
Because you don't even know what the hell's going on.
It's Willie Mays. You know what yesterday was? It was the 25th anniversary of the catch Jim Edmonds made against the Royals.
Oh.
Willie Mays-esque catch. I was actually at that game, and it was a heartbreaker. 2 out, 2 on. Late. I don't think it was bottom of the 9th, but I think it was probably bottom of the 7th, bottom of the 8th, and Royals trailing by a couple. It was huge. Great play. Use short tracks to handicap, says Rye Cape. Sonoma isn't like any of the other road courses on the schedule. Jim also opines that it is different than Watkins Glen. So. What's up, you fucking idiot? What's wrong? What's wrong with you, Chris? Jesus.
Well, have we ever raced at Sonoma, or is this one of those tracks where we've raced like once?
No. Sonoma is a regular stop on this.
I never got into the road courses. There's too many freaking windy turns and everything. If you want that, watch Formula One. Those cars are more geared to making those kind of turns than a NASCAR car.
I think they're kind of fun. I'm okay with it. I'm okay with the break. Would you ask me whether I'd rather see Sonoma or another 1.5-mile track?
No, I don't like the cookie cutter tracks either.
Right. Michigan's boring. What's the triangle in Pennsylvania? Pocono. That's boring. That just bores me to tears. And no bank.
Pocono's longer than 1.5 miles, though.
Oh yeah. It's
was it 2 and a third or something like that?
2 and change. Yeah. Road courses aren't my favorite either. Yeah. So. Make sure you tune into the NASCAR show, everybody. As we just spent some time mixing up.
Yeah, we'll get more cutting it stuff like when Reichel talked about the Bristol dirt race, about how Kurt Busch said it was stupid and then went to pick him anyway.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So it is good to be here. We do want to remind you guys to like our video. Please like our video. We know you like our video, but we want you to express your like in hitting that button, hitting that thumb. And of course, this is the last show on the Winners and Whiners YouTube channel. This is it, Chris. This is the last time we're going to do Just Parlays. Starting Monday, we'll be over at the Max Wagers Network YouTube channel.
Which means I'll get a bunch of messages on Twitter going, "What happened to the show?"
I told you what's likely to happen is we've been harping about this for like a couple, 3 weeks now. There's going to be 90% of the people that go to the regular spot on Monday and go, "Oh shit, that's right. Those guys were just blabbering about that," and then they go over to Max Wagers Network. So when you get there for the show, please subscribe, cling the bell. Yes, ring the bell, get notified every time we put up brand new content. Great content, Max Wagers Network, noon. It's Sean Higgs, Midday Money, 1 o'clock, of course. Allie Burns giving you morning wood. 2 o'clock, well, you know what's here because you're here. We're here. It's me and Chris. 3 o'clock, I roll over to Studio B for Scott and I doing Back to the Window. 4 o'clock, Sean Miller from doing soccer from around the globe. And Fridays, most days, he may not be there today, but it's usually Tim Earl, Nick Earl, and Detroit Lenny. I think Tim went to the game today, so that may or may not be over by showtime. So I don't want.
And if not, then everybody deserves a day off now and then.
Paulo Enriquez trying out for the job of show director. Wants to know about Game 4 with the Celtics or Warriors and why. Please show your work, Chris. I'm going to guess you may have a slide loaded up on that game.
You would be correct.
Okay, so there you go. We're gonna talk about that here in just a minute. Thanks for checking in, Paulo. I swear we will get to it and answer all of your questions,
or at least act like we were going to.
No, don't say that. We're gonna do it. We're 100% going to talk about that basketball game, both the side and total. I promise. So there you go. Hey, if you want more of this guy's picks, Chris, how'd your picks do yesterday over on the premium side?
Premium side, we had both the 2-teamers hit. And then we had a 4-teamer that paid out about 29-1.
That ain't too bad. If you want to get in on that kind of action, make sure you check out Chris's premium picks. You can get my premium picks as well if you're looking for more of my good stuff. Both of those links are in today's show description.
Did you have a good day yesterday?
Went 3-1 on the premium side. Did okay.
Can't go wrong with that.
I will take that every time. Yankees rallied and saved our farm.
Yep, Yankees saved a couple of 2-teamers, including one of the ones on the show yesterday.
And that's what I was going to ask. And the show went pretty well. We hit both of those 2 teams, right?
Yep, the 4-teamer was shit, but
yep.
I didn't expect the Giants to commit 4 errors, 3 of them in the same inning.
Brutal, just a brutal game with the Giants.
Way to screw over Logan Webb and his home win streak. Don't bother playing defense.
A lot of streaks came to an end. A couple of 17-game streaks came to an end last night, Chris. Had Logan Webb 17-game streak, and you had the New York Rangers 17-game streak come to a screeching halt. So.
Well, theirs was an 8-game streak at home.
Rice says the Longhorns are about to kill my 10-legger from yesterday. Oh, God. No kidding. What's up, Super Sly?
Now, does that mean Rye took Texas? Because I haven't seen the score of that game.
No, I'm assuming they're making great catches and Rye saying it that way. I'm assuming he's on East Carolina. Could be wrong, but I think that's it. And finally, I want to remind you about the great deal we got with folks over there at Caesars.
That's still going on.
Maybe you've seen their commercials, JB Smoove, Halle Berry. And great deals for first-time bettors, especially. They've got great numbers over there. We use them a lot. But for first-time bettors, they've got a super deal, guaranteed insurance on your first bet up to $1,100 first deposit if Caesars is new in your state. If you're new in your state, maybe you just moved to a place where they have a sports book, check out the Caesars deal. You got to use the code ATSWINS, Caesar, ATSWINSCZR. Must hit the right link. And, of course, we have both of those in the show description. Both the code and the link are there for you. And you must be 21 to play. Of course, it must be in a state where Caesars exist. And if you're in New Hampshire or Wyoming and Caesars is there, congratulations. You only have to be 18. So, Rice says I'm on Texas. I was wrong. There you go.
Yeah, East Carolina up 7-4 in the 6th. Texas has scored twice in the inning, though. So,
okay. Well,
trying to make a game of it.
Tim Earl was here yesterday telling us plus 135. Load up. East Carolina, number 18 in the country.
And then, like Andrew said, it apparently moved up to 175.
Unbelievable, my friend. All right, buddy. I think we've done all our housekeeping stuff. Talked a little bit about yesterday. So I think there's just one thing for us left to do here. Let's talk about tonight's action. Chris, we got a little NBA. We
didn't want to talk about Garrett Cole and how bad he looked. And
no. I mean, he's not quite dead to me, but I don't know what to do with him right now.
I mean, he have 5 homers.
It's awful. It was I don't know, you say his worst performance in 2 years, and he's had a couple of clunkers.
I mean, that's the worst one I've seen in quite a while.
It's hard to beat giving up 5 runs, or 5 home runs rather. If somebody says, "Well, that wasn't his worst," it was when and I want to hear what's at the end of that sentence. When he did what? When he didn't give up 5? When he gave up 6 home runs? I don't think that's out there. So
I'm just looking here, and he 5 and 2 1/3.
5 home runs and 2 1/3. Yeah, you got to think.
I don't know what's worse. Did he give 5 and 2 1/3? That Byron Buxton has driven himself in more than he's driven in anybody else, because he's got 15 homers and 28 RBIs, or that the Twins still lost.
A lot of impressive facts from that game, and the fact that they were up 7-2 and lost the game is certainly something to take a look at.
Yeah, I mean, how do you go scoreless the last 6 innings after you scored 7 in the first 3?
Well, let's talk about if you want to talk about something else real quick. How about Tony La Russa? Are his days numbered?
Boy, you would think so, wouldn't you? It's a 1-2 pitch. Oh, let's intentionally walk him.
And then to have the arrogance in that news conference as if it was a no-brainer. And you must.
We intentionally walk everybody with 2 strikes.
What do you have? What do you have, a retard? What are you doing here? What kind of stupid ass question is that?
I think he was half in the bag. He was like Harry Doyle, and
I don't know, man.
During the losing streak.
I don't know. That was not a good look for the White Sox, and it was not a good look for La Russa in the post game press conference. So keep an eye on that. The White Sox continue to play shitty baseball. Old man Tony, old man yells at clouds and reporters. Could be.
He would probably intentionally walk the cloud.
All right,
put him on for the reporter. Yeah, this guy can't hit.
So we're going to by the way, for anybody that's been following closely, the dog had his first legitimate bowel movement in a week outside today, right before the show. So
we interrupt the show for a breaking news bulletin about Scott's dog.
Houston, we've got touchdown.
We now go to Dan Rather live in New York. Yes, breaking news. Scott Steehn's dog took a dump outside
Fox,
today.
They'd all be running the breaking news cry on. We interrupt this story to go to breaking news in the heartland. All right. What do you got for today, buddy? Let's I'm not going to say we can't get out of this gracefully, so let's just fucking get out of it.
Well, Andrew, we can't say we both called it because Steehn said he was going to take the Rangers yesterday.
That's right. I did like the home team. I felt I will totally cop to that. I liked the home team there to have the streak continue.
But we did say it was going to stay under the number because we said.
I also told you that. I told you that was my favorite play. I told you that I would not play the side, but I did like the under there, and that's exactly what I did.
And John says, "Does Tampa put a fork in the Rangers tomorrow night?" I think you would have to lean that way.
Yeah.
I mean, you were up 2-0. Now you went home. You still had home ice advantage. Now you don't have that either.
You got nothing. You got your backs against the wall, man.
It's all right, Andrew, because I said that Strasburg was going to win yesterday, and Scott said the Marlins were going to win, and he was right, so it evens out.
That's right. Every once in a while, a blind pig finds an acorn. But I never have confidence in those guys making their first start off after a long layoff.
Well, he also wasn't helped by the umpiring either.
Well, okay. But part of the reason for that is they're going to be on a pitch count.
Right.
So you have to look at, what does that team's bullpen look like? And when it's Washington, what that bullpen looks like. And if Strasburg doesn't do it, if you're down 3-1, 4-1 at the midway point, don't sweat it. Fucking load up because here comes the bullpen. So
the bullpen of doom.
The bullpen of doom. A couple of them like that this year. Hey, congratulations to the Angels. All it took was for me to think I could bet on them twice. I got away with it once. I said, you know what? This streak is never going to end. This team is terrible. They'll never win another fucking game. I was worried about Ohtani, but I couldn't pass up the sucker bet. I couldn't pass up the plus money.
Well, and I agreed with you, but I mean, Pivetta pitched well. He just didn't get any support.
He was fine. Giving up the 3-run shot to Ohtani on the 1-2 count was absolutely, obviously the killer. But
right,
not great. So congratulations to the Angels. They
now have a win in the month of June.
Yeah. Well, baby steps, Bob. Baby steps. So, all right, let's go to baseball, buddy.
All right, how about it? We'll start with a game between the Cleveland Guardians. Damn it, it's not the Rangers, it's the A's. I changed it, and it didn't save.
You are having some issues.
Look, on every other line, I have the A's, so I don't know why I didn't save at the top. The A's are bad. We saw this yesterday.
A's are bad. Okay.
That's right, Mr. Garrison. Or Mr. Mackey, I should say.
Mackey, that's right.
But, the A's held the lead yesterday. I think it was as late as the 7th inning. They were up 4-3 and then proceeded to lose 8-4 because Lou Trevino was bad. They would have been better off having Lee Trevino pitch. Paul Blackburn, we talked about him earlier in the year. He was good. And we said, how long was this going to last? Because he hadn't won more than 5 games in his life, pretty much,
right,
at the major league level. And he's come back to earth. He's lost his last 2, giving up 8 runs in 10 2/3 innings. Those were losses to Houston and Boston, and they were both at the neutral field known as Ring Central Coliseum. And we say it's neutral because there's nobody there to watch it anyway.
How do you really feel?
I mean, have you seen some of the crowds there? When you lose money by opening the stadium, it's not a good night.
Yeah, I know. No, they've been awful.
And Blackburn also coming off an impressive outing, an outing with an impressive stat. His last time out, he had a ground ball to fly ball rate of nothing. Everything he gave up was in the air.
Okay.
That's not good for a guy who throws junk.
No, that's not good at all. You want to have him pounded into the ground. There is what you need to have happen. As far as this one goes, I've been talking about this McKenzie kid for a while. I've been on this Tristan McKenzie. He's got it. And the thing I like about him, he's got a nice, easy delivery. It's easily repeatable, and it looks like he's finally finding his footing a little bit this season. He did struggle last time out. I think I backed him in that game. I think I had him. He went 7 innings, gave up 5 earned, but only 3 hits. He was victimized by the long ball.
Yeah, so, all 3 of the hits he gave up were homers.
Yeah. He does still struggle with that. He's got the walk problem for the most part under control, but I'm a fan of this play right here.
Yeah, the weird part was in his first 6 starts, 5 starts and a relief appearance, he only gave up 1 homer, but he's given up 8 in the last 4 starts. That's the one thing that I'm worried about. But he hasn't given up more than 4 hits in any of those starts.
Make them count. Make those count, man.
And he's gone at least 7 innings in each of his last 4 outings.
Well, yeah. In fact, that game that he pitched against Baltimore, where he ended up giving up 5 runs, he gave up 3 hits. All of them were home runs.
Right.
So.
And it snapped a string of 5 straight quality starts too.
Yes, that's absolutely correct. So the question, the question that you have to look at is Oakland going to be able to hit any home runs?
So you got to ask yourself, do I feel lucky?
Did they hit 5 home runs or just 6, Chris? And honestly, all excitement, I kind of lost track. So
I know. I don't know if the A's have hit 6 home runs all season, but
I'm a fan. I'm a fan of this play.
I liked it better. Well, it actually went down because when I did the stuff last night, I want to say that it was like minus 175. So it came down a little bit, which is nice.
Okay.
But we always talk about, shop your lines because, depending on the book you're at, it could be wherever. Because I think I saw it at 155 at WinBet. But if you go to PointsBet, it's 175.
Yep.
And if you go to Caesars, it's 170.
At 20 cents, man, it doesn't sound like a lot. You're like, well, I like this, but if you save that 20 cents 5 times, you earned yourself a free bet.
That's true.
It's like your own personal punch card. So shop your lines if you have the opportunity to do that. So
and that's what I do when I put these up. I try to find the best number possible wherever it is.
Yeah. So now this is kind of one of those almost like a tweener game for me where I'm kind of anxious about laying 155, but I'm not afraid to throw it in a parlay.
Are you worried about? Would you chase the run line?
No.
Even after they won 8-4 yesterday.
I still don't trust this Cleveland offense.
But the offense isn't bad.
It's not as bad as it was last year. I still am a little reticent to back them on the run line at home. And you're not, for me, picking up you're picking up 80 cents of value. It's not enough. It's not enough. I'd rather just take my chances with the 155. If I could get it at plus 140. Okay. Now we're talking. You're getting close to $1. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Let me see if it's shifted at all. No, 125 is still the best that I'm seeing on the books.
Well, I'll give you an example. As my play of the day, I took San Diego on the run line, and I did it almost exclusively because I'm getting $1 and a half.
I saw it was down to like what 110 or something like that.
That's what it was minus 260 on the money line. It was minus 110 on the run line. So you give me $1 and a half of value with a competent pitcher on the mound, I'm going to play it. And you give me that much value with Musgrove on the mound, 10 for 10 in quality starts, all day, every day, buddy.
Yeah, I was going to put that one in here, but then I figured if I put it in on a parlay, people were like, "Oh, look, he's taking the minus $6 billion and two." So I do have a Musgrove pick in there, but it's a player prop.
Okay. All right. Well, that's fine. You got him over in strikeouts?
Yep.
I don't hate that. Okay. What else you got, buddy?
Look, I got the Toronto Blue Jays against Detroit Lenny's Detroit Tigers, or the Detroit We Can't Scores.
I took that for Clark. It's one of my Clark picks. Yep, it is.
With Jose Barrios. Imagine that. Could you imagine if he had an actual decent ERA instead of over 5? He might have more than 4 wins.
Yeah, it's been a weird season for Barrios. Not the best, but
no, it started when he got shelled on opening day.
He's been outstanding compared to Rodriguez. By the way, I took the Saturday game on Clark, so not this game.
Saturday game is Gausman and Brisky.
Yeah, Bo Brisky.
But yeah, I don't know what's worse, that the Tigers have Eduardo Rodriguez for Erod, and now they have Elvin Rodriguez. So is this like Erod Jr.? Is this Erod light?
It's Elrod.
Half the calories, less the fat.
It's Elrod, man. Not we can choose Elrod Hubbard.
Yeah, I don't know what's worse, that or the fact that he's only the second guy in Major League history to be named Elvin.
I'm trying to think. Should I know the other one?
No, because he sucked too.
Okay.
I saw it when I was trying to punch up his numbers on Baseball Reference. Elvin Ramirez played in 2012. 20 games in relief for the New York Mets, went 0-1 with a 5.48 ERA and a 2.063 WHIP.
Not good, Bob.
Walked 20 guys in 21 and a third innings.
Jeez.
I wonder why he didn't come back up.
Hard to believe that guy didn't get another cup of coffee. They probably took that cup of coffee that he was drinking right there and just snagged it and said, "Yeah, you're done. You're not even going to get to finish that here. Get out of here."
Interestingly, about Elvin Rodriguez, this is probably not a good matchup for him. He's given up 6 homers in 16 innings, and if you've watched the Blue Jays at all, they've got some guys that can put the ball in the seats.
I understand that. They have a little pop in their bats there.
3.4 homers per 9 innings.
That's a lot. That's a lot, my friend.
Some would scream that's excessive. I think Barrios could give up 4 runs and still win, but I don't know if Detroit could score 4 runs.
That's the question, because this is a team that averages 2.7 runs per game, man. It is just absolutely brutal.
Yeah, it is no bueno.
No bueno at all, sir. I agree with both of these plays. Like I said, I also, if you want to get a leg up on tomorrow, I also like the matchup with Gausman on the mound with the Toronto Blue Jays tomorrow too. So.
Yeah, I like that one too. I was looking at it for when I do my stuff later on. Hard to go against Gausman normally, but when he's facing a team like the Tigers that seem to be allergic to putting the ball in play.
Yep, absolutely true. Absolutely true, bud. All right. What else you got?
Well, we got basketball.
Basketball. Okay. Very good.
Or, I mean, if you want, we can talk about the CFL. The Winnipeg Blue Bombers are playing the Ottawa Red Blacks tonight.
I told you, I actually like Canadian football. I like the rules. I think there's some funky, like the punt stuff.
Where you mean the singles?
Where if you recover the punt, you get a single. Yeah, it's pretty good.
So, and the 55-yard line.
The 55-yard line still freaks me out, but I'm not gonna lie. The third is the third down. That's the.
Well, they're going for it on third and 7.
Yeah. Make your. You don't have a lot of those waste plays, So.
Yeah, I mean that's a in that regard, it's kind of like arena football because nobody wants to run the ball because you don't want to be stuck with 2nd and 10 or second and 12 when you when you've only got one more down.
And now it's third down, yeah, or second down as it were.
But I mean, I used to watch it all the time because, like I said, getting the Canadian channels, it was easy to watch it on CBC or whatever.
Right.
But the Blue Bombers, the defending CFL champs, Sly's happy about it. Right, if you're only getting 6.5 points, you're getting gypped because I saw, according to the line I saw earlier, Winnipeg was favored by 11.5.
Yikes! Shop those lines, right? Come on, buddy.
Well, I mean, Winnipeg is, like I said, they're the champs. Ottawa was bad last year. They had a pop gun offense, and Winnipeg, had basically the CFL version of the 85 Bears or the 2000 Ravens defense when it came to shutting teams down. I think it'll be an interesting matchup. I mean, I like to watch the CFL. Hopefully, I can find some stupid channel that it's on. Maybe Fox Sports 47 or something. You'll have it on.
I got to go back and run the tape. When you said we could talk about the CFL, I swear to God, I said no.
No, you said you like watching the CFL,
and that was it. I said no.
Well, see, you didn't chime in.
I said no. Talk about basketball. There's like 2 people that want to talk Canadian football, and one of them's you.
No, Sly likes the CFL. There's Bronco talking CFL, and Rye even commented on betting on the CFL.
Okay, all right. So and Bronco Devil would say anything just to make me look bad because he still hasn't gotten over this Chiefs fucking own the Broncos shit. At the end of the day, no matter what interaction we have, Bronco hates me at his core.
He sent you a fucking head. What are you complaining about?
It's a red herring. It's a red herring.
He could have sent you a head in a box.
What's in the box? For God's sake.
There you go. So Rye says ESPN Plus shows the games even better.
Okay.
Hey, he could have sent you a bag of dicks.
How about a nice bag of dicks? Dude, I swear to God, talk about some basketball.
Or what? What are you going to do? What are you going to do, little man?
Fucking cut the show. I'm also having half an hour to myself. It'll be fine. People are waiting on basketball.
They're still talking about the CFL over there.
People are waiting on basketball, man. I'm telling you.
Nobody watches basketball. It's a dead sport.
Yeah, they're that's why it's on network and CFL's on ESPN2 if you can find it. Or no, ESPN Plus. It's not even on the Deuce.
To be fair, you can barely find the NHL on ESPN during a hockey season.
Okay, well, don't get me started on hockey either. But people want to talk about basketball. Boston's going to win tonight, Chris. The game is going to go over the total. There. Discuss.
Well, I have Boston win. I don't know about it going over the total.
Okay.
I mean, I'm worried about, Curry with his one leg. He's not Willis Reed.
Curry in a hurry.
And, Golden State, they had that big run in the third quarter. Speaking of which, are you betting on them in the third quarter again?
I don't know. The injuries trouble me. I have to be honest with you. Iguodala's out again. Peyton's questionable. Curry's not on the list, but like you said, he looked a little banged up last time. I probably will because I'm probably going to get plus money on it. So that's going to be hard to pass up because let me see what it is. Let me see if they got it figured it out yet.
But I mean, if you think about it, as well as Golden State played in the third quarter, this was the fourth quarter in the series where they did nothing.
Right.
They scored 16 points in game one where they got outscored 40-16. They had 11.
Yeah, I said hold my beer. Game 3.
Yeah. So, I mean, we can do better than that.
We can go for 11. We can go. So that's less than a point a minute. You extrapolate that out over an entire game. That's I'm no math major. I think that's 44 points.
Yeah.
That's not ideal.
Check out the brains on Scott. That's right. The
that's not gonna beat that's not gonna beat Ooey Pooey, buddy. You're not gonna put 44 on the board and beat Ooey Pooey.
No, you might get by Chicago State depending on
maybe
how many free throws they clank.
No, I could have been a little hasty about the over. I think this Golden State team. I'll tell you what I do like. I do like the team total under 105 for Golden State.
Yeah, that's a pretty safe bet, I would say.
I think so. I think just based on the trends, because
Boston plays good defense.
Well, sure, and I mean they've been able to survive the quarter of doom, and still be able to win the game. Now, last time Golden State should have gone over their total. I think it was 103, if I'm not mistaken. I think I saw some people talking about having 103 for Golden State. And in all reality, they should have put up a minimum of 20 points. So Golden State should have been in the neighborhood of 107 to 109 with even a modicum of effort there in the fourth quarter. So that would be the one hesitation I would have if I was going to talk about the Golden State under. Is you go, well, that should be a lock because they just put up 100 last time. But if you look at how that broke down, like you pointed out in the fourth quarter, the 11 points, man, that's probably won't be repeated.
Yeah, because you figure they had 33 in the third and then put up 11 in the fourth.
Right. I mean, they may have a quarter with less than 20. I don't discount that possibility because we talked about it before, or I think Scott and I did, where they run. You look at them and you think, man, that team is fast. They run a lot of pace. They get up the court fast, but they run their offense and they make so many passes. They get so many looks that it ends up chewing up the shot clock in just a slightly different way. So if those shots aren't going, or if they do their Golden State thing and start turning the ball over,
that's true.
All of a sudden you've run 20 seconds off your possession. You have nothing to show for it. So that's how you score 11 points, kids.
And that's partially what happened is, you saw Brown and Smart and those guys knocking the ball loose and knocking it out of bounds, and then you're down to 4 or 5 on the shot clock, and you're like, now what do we do? And they got killed on the glass. They got beat 47-31 on the boards. Right. Even if it doesn't go as a turnover, you've now dramatically shrunk that window for them to get something kind of offense going with like you said, 4 or 5 seconds on the shot clock when they inbound the ball. So, as far as the side goes, I just like the way this Celtics team is playing right now. Scott and I disagreed before Game 3. He thought Golden State was the better team, and I'm not sure I agree with him right now. The way this Boston team has been playing. So until further notice, especially at home, I'm going to take Boston to take a commanding 3-1 lead. And the biggest thing, everybody talks about, well, Draymond Green's going to impact this series. In 3 games, Draymond Green has as many personal fouls as he has points. Well, he's impacted the series, not just positively. Right. I mean, but they need him to be more efficient on the floor as opposed to yapping on the bench or yapping on the floor at the officials. So many levels below where he needs to be. I mean, you can't say, well, he needs to turn it up a little bit. He needs to be a completely different player than we've seen in games 1 through 3. He needs to turn it up to 11. To me, his head is gone. His head in this series is
is gone. Yeah. So that's that, and that's part of it. That's part of the whole reason that I like Boston here. If Draymond's at the top of his game, and he's never going to be your main scorer, or at least he certainly shouldn't be.
No, if he is, then you have bigger issues.
But if Draymond's your leading scorer, I like the odds of Boston covering quite a bit. But having said that, I haven't seen anything to indicate he can step up. So if he does, then my Boston bet could be bad. But until Draymond steps up, he has to be there from the defensive side.
But I mean, what do you consider stepping up? If he scores 6 points, is that stepping up?
I need to see him. I need to see more effort on the defensive side. You can live with Draymond scoring 6 to 10 points, but you can't live with him. You can't live with him getting beat.
Andrew pointed out earlier in the NBA Finals, when the Celtics lead 2-1, they are 12-0 in their history as far as walking away with the Larry O'Brien Trophy.
Okay, I would like to know how many of those have come in the last. Well, you said it's only finals, right?
Yeah, we're just talking about the finals.
Well, you got a couple of pretty good eras there. You got obviously the Bob
the
Cousy,
Russell era and the Bird
Russell,
era,
or the Bill Russell era, and then the Larry Bird, Robert Parrish. So you've had a couple of pretty fair teams that have done that. I'm not sure I put much stock in it, since this team hasn't been to the finals since the Paul Pierce teams.
Yeah, Pierce and Garnett.
It's interesting, and it could say something about the home court advantage, because most likely Boston was probably the better team in most of those matchups and probably had the home court advantage. So they would have played Game 4 in Boston in the Garden.
And if you look at, for all the success that Golden State's had over the last decade almost,
right?
They've struggled with the Celtics, 5-15-2 against the spread in the last 22 meetings.
That's
sure, you can say some of those are regular season games. That's fine, because you only see them twice a year.
All of them.
Well, all of them before this year. Yeah. So you can say they don't mean as much, but the fact remains that they haven't solved the Celtics. And there was a stretch where the Celtics weren't all that great.
Yeah, absolutely true. Absolutely true, my friend. And it also could be, it also may indicate that Golden State doesn't necessarily travel well to the East Coast,
or they just don't match up well.
Yes, also true. So I think until further notice, I'm on the Boston Celtics. Take the Golden State Warriors team total under 105. Yeah, 105. As far as the full game, I'm gonna change horses here just a little bit. I'm gonna lean under. And if they beat me, they beat me. But I just
that's the way I looked at Game 3.
Yeah, I get that.
I mean, they barely dragged across it after they were at 182 after 3 quarters.
Yeah, well, it went over the total. A couple of people that got it early got burned because it went. I know I had a guy that had it at 216. So that was an unlucky push, but that should have been in the low 220s easily.
Oh yeah,
easily in that game. So if you did not lose your under bet there, you should consider yourself extremely fortunate. You got a great number. Are you on the under as well here, Chris? You said
yes,
that?
I am.
Okay. All right, very good.
Yeah, Bronco. Scott said that he'd probably back the Warriors in the third. They've had good runs at it throughout the playoffs.
Yeah, I can't ignore it. There's something about their energy level. I don't know what they do at halftime, but it's
smoke crack.
It's too big of a trend to ignore at this point. It's something that I think that has to be played. So
now, if only they could carry that momentum over to the fourth quarter, they might have actually been ahead in this series.
Hey, show me some 2-teamers on it. I'm going to look up the quarter price on that while you do that.
All right. Going to go with the Milwaukee Brewers over the Nationals. It's Aaron Ashby going against Eric Fedde, and I know we've talked about this before. When Eric Fedde is considered one of your front of the rotation starters, it's not necessarily a good thing. It usually means that you're a team that's probably not going to be considered a serious contender for anything other than first hit to the golf course.
The best thing you can say about him is he's not Patrick Corbin.
There you go. That's pretty accurate.
He's not Johan
Agon.
Adon, yeah. So
I know the Brewers have lost 6 in a row. They ran into a hot Philadelphia team, and before that they played San Diego. Here's the thing. San Diego can pitch. Philadelphia can hit when they feel like it. Washington can't do either one of those things. The Nationals are terrible at home as far as putting runs on the board. I believe they're right near the bottom when it comes to scoring at home. Let me double check my stats here. Okay, at home, Washington is 28th. They average 3.33 runs a game at Nationals Park. Do you know the two teams that put up less runs per game at home, Scott?
Less runs. Surprisingly, one of them's not Detroit.
Nope, they're 27th.
Yeah, I had to look at it. They're last in the league in runs, but they're not quite as bad at home. I'm going to go with the Royals.
The Royals are 29th. And we talked about the other team already.
The A's.
Yep. The A's average 2.6 runs a game at the Ring Central dump.
Well, and we talked about part of that being because of the foul territory there.
True.
So I'm on DraftKings, and there's either no line or it's pick'em, because all the other quarters have actual lines. In the place where the line should be, there is a blank.
Oh, so trying to pull one of those.
I don't know if maybe they're not posting a number. I don't know, but it's
they're like, oh, you're gonna try to pull that shit, huh?
Honestly, it's going to be within a point, probably either way, and I don't really care which.
You don't care.
I don't care. I don't care.
Just trying to see if I see it anywhere else, but I'm not seeing it come up.
Okay. Guardians and Phillies. We talked about Tristan McKenzie and the Guardians before.
And the Phillies have won, 7 in a row now? Boy, maybe firing Joe Girardi was the right decision.
Well, they certainly look like geniuses so far, don't they?
Yep. It's going to be Kyle Gibson. Go ahead, Scott. Talk about where he went to college.
I believe he's a graduate of the University of Missouri.
That's right. He went to the School of Hard Knocks.
Phillies have won 7 straight, Chris. That is correct.
Zach Gallen's going for the Diamondbacks, but the bloom came off that rose a little bit because he lost to the Pirates his last time out. I know some of that was the fact that Arizona forgot to score any runs, but still, you lost to Pittsburgh.
Well, you know who else lost to the Pirates? It's the English Navy, and they rebounded okay. So,
No,
Gallen, it's still got great numbers if you look at a 2.40 ERA and a .95 WHIP. But as Chris pointed out, he didn't just struggle a little bit against Pittsburgh. The big blow up he had was against Kansas City,
which was weird too,
because he gave up six earned in 5 1/3 against the Royals. He was decent against Pittsburgh, 6 innings, 2 earned, although he took the hard luck 3-0 loss there. So, I'm not quite ready to write Gallen off just yet. He's given up 2 or less in every start except against the powerhouse Royals. So, I don't know. When you're facing that kind of offensive firepower, you can't hope to get out unscathed. It's going to happen. So,
but I'm looking here, and Philadelphia scored 53 runs in this 7-game win streak. They've been held under 6 runs once.
Yeah, that's a team. It's playing good baseball right now. I know Philadelphia fans have been waiting for that. So congratulations, Rye. Perhaps the season isn't quite lost yet, although the Phillies do find themselves still under 500 and 9 games back. So,
but the Mets are still trying to find pitching, so anything's possible.
Anything is possible.
I mean, look, Atlanta was sub 500 in June last year and still won the division.
That's true. That's very true. So,
and I still got a bunch of games against the Nationals. So, hey,
if you wanted to play the Brewers and the Celtics lay 170 each way, that's going to pay you a little better than 3-2. By the way, that's a good yardstick, kids. Keep that in mind. Around 170 on each game is going to be somewhere around 3-2 on your payout. If you wanted to lay the run line and the spread line in the basketball game,
yeah, they're both 110.
That's going to pay you just about what a normal two-teamer would. It's going to pay you $264 on $100. The second parlay going to be a little friendlier there on the money line, as the odds are a little more reasonable, 135 and 155. That'll give you 186 on 100. And if you wanted to juice it up and play the run lines as you suspect, that's going to be much more profitable at 4.5 to 1 or 451 on $100. On $100, make you holla. So very good. How about a four-teamer? How about a quattro?
All right. Like I said, this is where I put Musgrove for over 5.5 strikeouts. He struck out at least 6, I believe, in 8 of his 10 starts. His last 10, I should say. Colorado, not necessarily known for putting the ball in play with any kind of consistency. And like you said, Musgrove goes deep in games. He doesn't come out there and throw 3 or 4 innings and leave. He's not Blake Snell.
Gone 6 in every game. Gone at least 6. Gone at least 6 in every game. Giving up 3.
And, like you said, he's got a quality start in every outing. So
yep,
kind of hard to argue with that kind of consistency.
Yep, leads the league in quality starts. Yep, it's
Now this was a game you and I talked about last night, where we were talking about the Astros and the Marlins. Pablo Lopez going for the Marlins. Luis Garcia going for the Astros. Garcia, another one of those guys that's coming off a loss to the powerhouse Royals in his last outing. He started that game against Bubic, where he went 7 innings, gave up 2 runs in a game that the Astros then proceeded to lose 6-0.
Yeah, I had that one.
Lopez has pitched well. He's got 2.18 ERA, so if you're looking at the under, that probably wouldn't be a bad way to go either.
Are we still at 7, or is it snuck down to 6.5 on that?
When I saw it last night, it was 8.
Go on.
Still is.
Oh, I see 7.5, but yeah, there's a bunch of 8s out there. Yeah, like that, buddy.
Yeah, like it. If you can jump to 8, give yourself a little cushion.
Yeah,
it's only going to cost you 10 cents, maybe.
Probably. It depends. Okay, cool. You like the Rays over the Twins?
Yeah, Devin Smeltzer going against Drew Rasmussen. I know Smeltzer has pitched pretty well, but the question is, what do the Twins have left in the bullpen after yesterday?
Rag arms, buddy. That's what they've got. They've got rag arms down there.
Meanwhile, Tampa Bay got 8 innings from McClanahan in a 2-1 win over St. Louis, so that's pretty much all hands on deck for them.
Yep.
Boy, that McClanahan kid, he's pitched well. Gotta give him some credit. He outdueled Mikolas yesterday.
Yeah, he really has. I do worry a little bit about Rasmussen on the road. He has been much worse away from the dome than he has at home. But, it's one of those things, because you look at this Minnesota team and you kind of have in your head like, wow, this is just another shitty team in the American League Central. But they're the fucking leading. They're leading the division. So they've got to do something right eventually, right, Chris?
You would hope so. I guess the benefit is that they play all the other shitty teams in the division a bunch of times.
That's true. Well, that's...
we play the Royals and the Tigers.
It is the division.
There's 30 free wins.
About the Royals actually did that about 10, 12 years ago, about how we're going to get better and this is our year. It was before the big run, probably maybe 15 years ago, because part of their advertising campaign was, geez, we get to play the Twins almost 20 times. And they literally said that, and they just absolutely went out and stunk up the season, including getting owned by the Twins that year. So,
go back to Harry. Christ, I can't find it.
I've been impressed with this Smeltzer kid, Chris. I really have been. He's made 5 starts this year. He has yet to give up more than 2 runs in any of those starts. He's been fairly consistent about going the distance. He's probably going to get you into the 6th. May not complete 6, but he'll get you into the 6th. Limit the damage to this Minnesota bullpen. This is probably the one that I like the least out of this, and I know it's the one that's capped the closest. So, yeah, I worry about Rasmussen on the road, and I worry that Smeltzer may actually be pretty good. So,
like I said, I'm worried about Minnesota's bullpen, and if Smeltzer can't get out of the 5th,
well,
like you said, that's the parade of, oh, Christ, who are we going to put on the mound?
I will say this. If I were going to play this game live, and I'll probably be out jacking around with the family tonight, but if I were going to play this game live, I would keep an eye on Smeltzer's pitch count. And if it started extrapolating out and looking like he wasn't going to be able to make it through the 6th, I'd load up on Tampa Bay. If he's breezing, if he's averaging 12, 13 pitches an inning for the first 3 or 4 innings, then I'm probably going to pump it up on Minnesota.
Yeah, Smelter doesn't miss a lot of bats.
No, he's not a big strikeout guy. He has had 7 in a couple of his appearances. He's had 7 strikeouts in 5 innings, but for the most part, he's a guy that's going to have to count on soft contact. Going to have to count on ground balls.
Yeah, he's fan 13 in 28 innings.
Yeah, not ideal. Not ideal at all.
And then we've got the Dodgers and the Giants. It's Buehler against another ex-Royals castoff.
Eunice? Is it Eunice?
Yes, it is. But, it's hard to go against Buehler. I know usually when he gets lit up, he bounces back with a decent outing.
Fair enough.
He struggled. What the hell did he face last? Christ, I can't find it. The hell with it. No, he faced the Mets and got beat up for 5 2 1/3. He's had a couple rough outings of late. The Giants, they just look like crap against the Rockies. Would they score like 6 runs in the series?
That was not their best series.
They made Antonio Senzatella look like friggin' Cy Young.
That's hard to do. Yeah, they put up 7 runs in that series combined. So, I think the league is just figuring out that Junis is the same guy that pitched with the Royals. Like, that changed. I thought it was like his brother. Oh no, that kid sucks. No, Junis, after having a little dip there, he's actually been good again, Chris. He's given up just 4 earned runs over his last 3 starts, 16 in the third. That ain't bad.
Yeah.
And he's got, as his slider goes, so goes Junis. It's all about if he can get that slider and if he can get the calls on the outside corner and low in the zone.
And of course, he's also benefited from the fact that the Giants scored 21 runs in those 3 games.
Well, I'm just saying, if you give up 4 runs in 3 games, you're probably going to expect to win all of them, if not 2 out of 3 for sure, and most likely all of them. So, yes, it was helpful they put up a ton of runs. But then again, the Giants gave up 8 runs total in those 3 games. You should win those games.
This is true. I'm just saying, after what we just saw them not do against Colorado.
True. Yeah.
You have to wonder, is he going to get any support?
Yeah, they're scoring. If they giving up 8 runs, they could have lost all 3 of those games against Colorado.
Exactly.
So, all right. So a couple of them I'm a little less enthusiastic about than the others, but I do like those first 2 quite a bit. But if you were to play all 4, and they were all 4 to come in, play them on the money line, the safe way. And if anybody's ever tried to hit a 4-team money line parlay, which I'm sure most of you have, there's no safe way, but that pays $8.76, almost 9 to 1 on your $100. Pays the same on your $10 actually. So, and if you wanted to play it, turn that difficulty meter, as Chris would say, up to 11. Playing on the run line, that's going to play a little better, almost 24 to 1, 23.83 on a $100 bet. And if you wanted to take a shot in the dark, what would we do, Chris?
Well, we would talk about here. We got the Mets, Tyler McGill going against the Angels, who are saying, we don't know who we're going to pitch. Somebody get Mark Langston on the phone.
TBD.
Is Frank Tanana available?
Still don't have him yet, huh?
Nope. But I like the Mets there. Tyler McGill's supposed to come back. I know he'll be on a pitch count, but, the Mets have had a couple days where they can actually try to find some guys in the bullpen. They'll take the Reds over the Cardinals. It's Luis Castillo taking on Andre Palante. Palante sucks.
Enrique Palazzo is not good?
Enrico Palazzo isn't good. He should have stuck to, singing the national anthem.
All right, very good.
I'm going to take the Red Sox over the Mariners. Rich Hill going against Marco Gonzalez. Then I'm going to take the Rangers. Glenn Otto going for the Rangers. The White Sox, this is how good it was when I'm listening to the Sports Talk Radio last night, the BetQL guys, and they're like, yeah, all I can tell you about this guy for the White Sox is he's D. Martin. He doesn't even have a picture. He's a right-hander.
Wow, way to do that research, kid. Of course,
this is what they were saying on the radio. This is what they said on the radio last night.
Okay.
He's D. Martin. He's a right-hander. That's all we know.
I've got Jonathan Diaz, by the way, going for the Angels. I don't know how accurate that's going to be. I know it's a site I use. It's pretty much speculation, but that's the speculation at this point.
Gotcha.
Jonathan with an H right after the J. Like,
Oh, okay.
who else was there? There was a shortstop. Johnny played for Cleveland. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, I know who you're talking about. I'm trying to remember
Okay.
what the hell his name was.
Can't think what it was, but
We'll just call him Smith.
all right. So you got the
John Romero.
Nope.
No, it wasn't him.
Nope. I'll find it. Anyway,
Marinez.
You like the Reds? You like the Reds plus money over the Cardinals? Tell us about that pitching matchup because I know it's got to be a good one.
Like I said, it's Castillo and Palante.
Okay, that's right. Very good.
All right. I'm gonna look at that. I'm gonna go with the Royals, Scott. I took them yesterday and they won.
Okay, well you're done.
Come on, it's Heasley and Zimmerman. Nobody likes Zimmerman either.
Okay, Johnny Peralta. Who
Peralta. Yeah,
yep,
I forgot about him.
Yep, who didn't? All right, Red Sox over the Mariners. Yep. Rangers. Yep. Royals. Check. You like the under in the basketball game? We talked about that.
I just think Boston's going to clamp down defensively.
Curry under 28.
A rock fight.
Curry under 28.5. That's kind of correlated with the under in that game. I don't hate it. Got Jaylen Brown over 24.5.
Horford he's played well in the playoffs.
Horford over 3.5 assists. Explain yourself there, buddy.
Well, Horford, he's been effective as a big man passer, which is, something that they can use because it opens up more shots on the perimeter. And Horford, even in going back into the regular season, he averaged 3.4 over the course of the year. So, I mean, we're not talking about a guy who can't pass.
Okay.
In the playoffs, he's averaging 3.5. So
that's what I wanted to know. I knew there had to be a case for it. Marcus Smart over 14.5 points.
Yep.
Sure. Why not? If you wanted to play those, it would pay $95,088 on a $100 bet. And hang on to your hats, kids. Chris tired of fucking around with those $250,000 on $100. They said, can we up that a little bit? Can we put some real money behind that? So yeah, Chris, go ahead and put together a 10-teamer that pays you $336,000 on $100, almost $337,000. So congratulations there, Chris. Finally, you've got off your ass and done something. We appreciate it.
Yeah, I figured it was a Friday, so.
Yeah, give them something to shoot for. All right. Any final thoughts, buddy?
No, everybody enjoy the weekend. Be safe out there. Hopefully your air conditioning works.
Yeah, go sit in front of your air conditioner for Chris and think cool thoughts. See if you can send that out through the universe because it's my man's going to be sweating. So
it's supposed to be 98 here next week.
No, man, I'm out. I'm tapping out, buddy. I'm tapping out. I'm not ready. Hey, you guys have a great weekend. Thanks for watching. If you got a little time, hang out. Check us on the other side of the hour. We'll be right back after traffic and weather on the 9s. We'll be back with Back to the Window, Scott. And then, of course, we're doing, we'll see this guy again. We'll be reunited with Chris in about an hour, along with our friend Rye Cape and Scott Reichel. We'll be doing NASCAR. But until then, if you can't make any of that, just make sure you come back and see us next week as Chris and I, man, we'll talk about a lot of stuff. Probably talk about his air conditioner again. But eventually, we'll get around to talking about
Just Parlays.
There you go. Almost missed his cue. Friday, everybody. We're out of here. You guys take care.